So as we mentioned, we have been giving away some codes this evening. What was that Moobot thing to list the prize? Was it exclamation prize?
I got it.
All right, you
no,
got
no,
it.
I don't.
You're
it's
on
not
it.
that. It's without the S. I got it then.
The one that lists the links.
Oh, that one is prizes.
Yeah, there we go. So we have been giving out some prizes today. Not giving out the prizes, but giving out the access to the prizes. Given up by Corsair via MythLogic. A pretty awesome gaming mouse, a gaming headset, and then the Ooper Duper Grand Prize is a mechanical keyboard. All provided there. You can check those out at those links given by Corsair. There's some pretty awesome prizes. We're going to be giving away the first one next week on Tuesday the 20th. And between now and that point, you can stack up your entries. You can enter by following the link SC2CTL.com/giveaway and enter the code that Gallegation is about to type in the chat. MythLogic.
It is MythLogic. That is code number 2. Now, keep in mind, if you have missed the previous codes from this evening, if you go back and watch the video on demand, those codes are active until the end of tomorrow. So you will have opportunity if you missed those before and you want to brush up on your SC2CTL match history, you can find those there.
Yeah, and as you, if you do read the fine print there, you'll notice that if you follow the pages after logging in with Facebook, you will get 1 entry for each follow for every code you enter. So once you follow them, as long as you continue to follow them, you will continue to get those free entries. And the drawings will be done at a point in the near future. The dates are given there. But we do give a big thanks to MythLogic for helping us out with those prizes, as well as Corsair for giving up those prizes.
Absolutely.
MythLogic will be providing logistics to get those out to you. If you are a U.S. resident, they will be shipped to you free of charge from MythLogic. If you are a Canadian resident, you will have to pay a small shipping charge, but nonetheless, it will be worth it to get your awesome awesome prize. So big thanks
Absolutely.
to MythLogic for sponsoring this season and also the extra bonus there of those prizes. But moving right along here, going into our interview here, we do have with us David. He is the captain, am I correct?
The owner.
Owner of Crossfire Gaming, who has come out on top.
We did, yes.
That's right. So you're coming up against WeWannaWin, a European team. How did you feel coming into this matchup?
Going right into it, I think the biggest worry was just time zones. We play in an EU team already, and it's really tough to get a lot of NA guys to play on EU time zones because by the time it hit our 1 o'clock, it's pretty late their time. So unless you do it on the weekends, it's very difficult to get players. But we were able to work it out with them and get a good number of our top players into it.
Great. And going into it, I mean, obviously this is a Pro League format, so you can't really tell what the matchup is going to be going into it. But were there any specific factors that you considered in choosing your lineup, be it races, maps, etc.?
Well, first would probably be we played Kippy last, hoping that they would put Protoss as first, but that didn't quite work out. But he did very well in his game versus a Protoss player. And as far as anyone else, the other players are pretty confident in all of their matchups. I kind of just tried to match them up with the maps as best I could because I felt that Face was pretty good for a map that he's never played, or he's very good in just kind of spontaneous situations. So I felt that the other players knew their maps and they could do the best they could in that situation.
Absolutely. This is a question coming from chat. Troy, who is our benevolent overseer, is pointing out that your team has gotten somewhat fortunate in some walkovers earlier in the league. You're currently in a position to make the playoffs. Do you feel like, given that you had a couple of walkovers, are you going to be able to hold that position for the next couple of weeks? And do you think that you would be in the same position that you are now had you not had those walkovers?
Well, starting with if we'd be in the same position, I think we probably would. We were going to face Isuba and Immortals. Both of them didn't end up submitting. So it's kind of unfortunate because I look forward to playing both of those teams. Isuba being a very good EU team. And I think we would have done well either way. I feel like our players love to kind of rise up way against pretty tough teams. WeWannaWin had a lot of really good players, so I feel like this kind of series right here was a really good indication of how good we can be. And yeah, I think we probably hold the next 2 weeks pretty well. We play Zombie Llama Coyote, I think, is the team this week, and I think we'll do pretty well against them. I know they have a pretty good number of so I think we'll probably do pretty well. I think it'll probably be 2 or something like that.
Having another question here from chat. I'm gonna add on to it as I ask. The question is, why did you create Crossfire Gaming? And also, as in the same vein, can you tell us a little bit of history of your team?
As far as why I created Crossfire Gaming, I've been not in the competitive scene for very long. It was probably June of last year that I really got into StarCraft. I bought StarCraft Wings of Liberty when it first came out, but didn't really play it very much, just kind of played campaign and against computers. But it was when Heart of the Swarm really came out that I really got into the game. And when that happened, I started watching MLG, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And I joined a couple of teams, and I had fun. And eventually I felt like, yeah, me and a few people that I know, we could probably do pretty well at making our own team. So in February this year, late February, we did make Crossfire Gaming. So we're pretty, as far as a official team, and I think we've done pretty well so far.
Absolutely. So let's say some of our viewers who haven't seen your team before, obviously, as you're very new, where are they going to be able to see you coming up, and do you have any shout-outs that you'd like to give for your team?
Well, you can find us on Twitter at CG_underscore SC2. We post any kind of information. We do play in the SC2 improved team each SC2CTL each week, and the Top Dog League each week. So you can probably catch us in some of those whenever we get casted or something like that. And as far as shout-outs, I give a shout-out to in chat. He is the co-owner who helps me out with a lot of the stuff when I'm not able to do it. And yeah, thanks guys for giving me the interview.
Well, as long as we got you here, we got a couple more questions here, and I got another one of my own. This one also from chat. What do you think, theory crafting here, what do you think is the biggest balance issue in the game right now?
The biggest balance issue in the game? Protoss? No. No, me being a Zerg player, I don't think Protoss is really that bad. As long as you get down to base all-ins, you're pretty good. But Terran really struggles against Protoss, and that's mainly because, and you with me, but I think that Terran really needs to control the pace of the game versus Protoss, and a lot of them just kind of want to freely macro, and if you let the Protoss freely macro, you're in a pretty terrible situation at that point in time, because Protoss will just kind of beat you unless you can get the perfect counter to their army.
All right, and one more question I had here. Apparently there's a raving agreement with you in the chat. What other events are you participating in? This is sort of a staged question because I was talking to you about this earlier. What other events are you participating in? And also, how do you feel in general that team leagues such as SC2CTL benefit newer teams such as yourself?
We're taking part in the SC2 Improved Team League, which is an EU team league. And we are taking part in the Top Dog League, which is a North American team league. And I think that SC2CTL definitely helps out like newer teams, just because there's no like things that you have to do to get into the team league besides fulfill the ranking. But even then,
and submit your rosters.
Yeah, submit. Yeah. Well, really, that didn't take a whole lot of work, to be honest with you. You just, as long as you have the players, just all you have to do is click a few buttons and you're all good. But I think, am I right? But
one would think.
Yeah, but I think it really helps newer teams, just because no matter what, how many players you have a huge team. You don't have to crazy strong roster, but it gives you a good competitive aspect. And really, there are a lot of good teams here, and show how good your team is compared to a lot of other teams.
Great. Well, we thank you for your time. And Gallegation, you have any other questions for the fine sir?
No, that's about all that we have for you, but I appreciate you coming on the show and chatting with us for a little bit. Good luck to you in the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, my pleasure, man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll see you again. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also, real quickly, do want to give a shout out to the runner-up team in this matchup. WeWannaWin. If you want to check out more of what they got going on, if you liked what you saw, they do have a website. You can find them at clanw3c.com. I'm also going to put that in the chat, so you can check that out there. That has all their events that are upcoming and the different clan wars that they've participated in and kind of how they've done in those clan wars. So give them a follow. A lot of their website is actually in a different language, one that I don't actually know. It's probably Czech, as most of their players are. But you might be able to Google Translate it. At any rate, you can follow them there, and I'm sure that you can find some of their other social media through their main webpage.
Great, and we also want to throw out a big thanks to our sponsors. It's going to be Chairs for Gaming. Check them out on Twitter. Search for Chairs for Gaming, and also their website. If you are a Canadian viewer, they are a Canadian supplier of DX Racer chairs. Pretty awesome guys. They're helping us out quite a bit, so show them some love back. Also, the main league sponsor, MythLogic, a custom PC builder local to us here in Michigan. Give them a look-see as well. You can search for them on all social media by just typing in MythLogic. Like, follow, hug, all of those things to them. They're helping us out in a big way and to bring this league to you. Also, give a follow to the SC2CTL Twitch channel that you are watching right here. That helps to spread the word. And also Twitter. We'll be having some programming updates as it comes out. Turns out Thursday we're not going to be having our regularly scheduled show. We'll be rescheduling that. And we will broadcast that out via the social media outlets such as Twitter. You can follow your caster's commentator here. I am WingNetSC, and with me here is Gallegation. You can find us by those names on the Twitters as well. And with that, I think that will be wrapping up our show for this evening. Final score, 4-2 in favor of Crossfire Gaming, beating out WeWannaWin clan in this Week 4 match of the StarCraft 2 Community Team League.
That's right. So thanks so much for joining us this evening. We hope to see you on next time. And if you don't catch us on our unregularly scheduled program later on this week, you will be able to see us right here Tuesday 8 p.m. next week, and subsequently the Thursday after that as well. So we will see you